Hi, my name is Sally Barnard, an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer. Welcome to Call Me Zena, a true story into the spiritual realms. Join me as I sit and discuss the journey of self-discovery, and with the help of my spirit guides, it's time to trust your intuition. Sit with me and call in live 888-994-4995, Studio A. And now onto the show.
Your aunt's name?
You're on.
Gabby. Anka. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. It's that time of the day, Monday at 2:30. Welcome to my audience. Please, if you have any questions, and I say this every week, and if you've read my book, here I am to give you the answers, what you're asking me. 888-994-4995, Studio A. We have a nice studio audience here. We have Anka, and I think I just got beat by my spirits. And I have it's Art, and I have Dawn, and then Freddie's missing in action here. He'll be here any minute.
He will be in.
Okay, so on with the show. I think we have some questions. The topic today, which I don't usually know, is aliens, synchronicity. We have to discuss synchronicity because amazing
thing.
thing.
Want to call into the show? Let's give the number.
Did I?
You did. You sort of then had a conversation.
Oh, okay, because I'm getting into my trance.
All
Most
right,
people don't even know.
If you want to be part of this conversation, 888-994-4995, Studio A. Write in or give her a call. Since she has a live studio audience today, Sally, why don't we hold the questions and see where the audience takes you?
Okay, let's do that, because maybe I'll explain, or maybe from an outside point of view, you saw what actually happened on your lunchtime show today, right?
We set this up a little bit on the Brooklyn Cafe Midday Show. We have Baroness Anka Bergu joining us, and Sally was joining us, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the conversation, they had some past life soul connection. And then if you listen, there was a whole lot of crying and a whole lot of hugging and a whole lot of chills and a whole lot of lotta. So I'm going to let them share the story.
Because I think I know this is the first time you've been on my show, but I work very much with questions. I'm as good as the question that is asked to me. So ask me if you want something maybe to do with what we were talking about, and I'll get myself.
Just need Anka to hold, just hold the mic.
Putting you on the spot, but anybody, or even you don't. Well, let's set it up maybe that we were definitely together.
We are definitely together. I am definitely. I feel it. I felt it, and it's not my first time that it's happened. That I've had this experience with people from my past life. I'm very much aware and awakened since I was a child, as a baby, I should say, in a crib, and I've been waiting for humanity to wake up.
Exactly, and I think actually that, although we may have some other questions, but really that I think the topic for today is to tell people mainly that we're not alone here, which we talk a lot about, I do too, about guides and how they actually help us. But
messengers.
And messengers, yes. And we just, we had something unfold, the two of us in front of the studio.
I'm so grateful because to me, that experience that we've had together today, it confirmed
exactly
and the feeling and some sort of a memory that I have it somewhere stored in my mind. And as I met you, and we both had that frequency, and it's a coding and a frequency.
It definitely is.
It's a past life thing. And it's supposed to happen now in the fifth dimension, as we are here.
So maybe that the topic and some of the questions I think is we have done past lives before. But maybe if there's anybody from any of the questions, Dawn, maybe that we'll start it up and then
but I want to ask both of you because I had the privilege of witnessing that. And I think I said we've got royalty, we've got Baroness Anka and Her Majesty Sally Barnard. And I think that might have, I don't know, maybe that opened up the channels to the ethers that said, all right, let's share. And you shared.
I did, and I don't often say
so what was that like for both of you? And I never call you Your Royal Highness, right?
It wasn't in this lifetime, okay?
But and then her husband texts her.
Yeah, he may have watched the show, though. I'm not sure. But we didn't talk that much about it on the show. He never calls me the Queen.
So what is happening now, this is what I found, and this is my belief, that, but I speak of it because I feel it, that we are awakening, people are awakening to their past lives. And people that have been together before, they will recognize each other immediately.
I agree.
It's just the way it is.
I
and,
agree,
And now we all, who we're supposed to meet, we will meet. And some NPC will never, NPCs I call them, non-player characters will never understand.
Yeah, and I love that because I
And
often
it's the
refer to
truth,
this
you
as a
know.
game. So,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
really,
yeah.
this is,
Right.
life is a game.
Life is a
and
game.
you better
but
learn how to play this
because you
game of
keep
life.
coming back to it.
Because you
and if
keep on coming and doing it.
So that was a good way to open the show. But I think the actual subject, and it goes along with it, I think, was aliens, right?
And we talked about soul connections, but what did it feel like for people who are watching when you feel that soul connection? 'Cause that's one of the first questions. Do you feel you get the chills, you get the goosebumps? Do you tear? Like, so people, maybe what's their level of validation?
It's the validation, Dawn, truthfully, because I've had this happen. It doesn't happen all the time, but you do recognize each other on a soul level, actually.
Correct.
So the feeling that you get, it overcomes anything that you can't even explain it, right?
Yeah.
I call them the goosebumps. You've seen that many times. It's not coincidence, and I know that because it's too much. It's synchronicity. When you keep getting that synchronicity, you know that you're on the right track, because one thing after another, you couldn't keep getting these things.
No, there's no.
And
there's
I
no
mentioned the
coincidence.
other day, which makes a lot of sense. I talk about many things on my show, and from aliens to past lives to frequencies and all everything, dimensions. But whatever I say, someone will relate. If they're sitting there and they relate to it, it's exactly the same as what I say. So if this wasn't real, how would somebody else be saying the same story?
Correct.
It's like they're telling me, because I am in a semi-trance, I'm going to say, because I am aware of what's going on. But that was one of the answers they gave me. It's absolutely, for me, I don't need the proof. I've had over and over again, and I'm very grateful. But how am I giving the same exact message that somebody else has said somewhere else?
Same with me, and I feel that I don't push people. I just learned, because I did not speak for a long time about it because people didn't understand.
Right.
But now I'm so happy to meet someone like you, and like you. I mean, like people that we really recognize who we are.
I think now is
recognition of
definitely,
a soul recognition.
and it is the time right now.
It is
I
the
think
time,
when this
yeah.
isn't, this is synchronicity that this
Yeah,
is all
it
coming
really is.
about.
When I met Anka last week, we were talking about beauty lines, and I said, have you ever thought of developing a makeup line or a skincare line? And she looked at me, because the messages I was getting was, and I told you what they were, not knowing that was her family business in New York.
My mom.
It was such a random thought
Yeah.
that when I met Sally, I said to her, why are they telling me tiara? Does that even make sense to you? And she went, oh my gosh, why?
Yeah,
How
that's
would you
right,
even
yeah.
know that? I texted you, because sometimes you get messages that seem so crazy, like a makeup line
Yes,
and a
yeah,
tiara.
yeah,
I'm like,
yes,
why are
yes.
they telling me
Because
tiara?
You picking it up. You see, this is what it is. So the ether. Now, this is what people need to understand. That we always had free energy, and that's ether. And, that's extremely important.
No, it is very important.
Because
and
you
it's-
hear it, you're getting a radio station. It's like you're driving, and all of a sudden, you're going through a certain area that you cannot explain. It's a portal or something, and all of a sudden, I even heard voices coming through.
But to go a little further onto what you were saying too with that, which I had mentioned I think a little while ago on my show, someone has an invention and they come out with it, and someone on the other end of the world from where they are has the same invention at the same time.
Correct.
That's a
And it's
perfect
happened.
example, and that's been proven.
It's been proven.
Let's say, but somebody else
Yes.
right now is inventing the same thing.
But it's who takes
the
action.
ether. It's that, and it's
That's-
the ether in
and
the
it's the
air.
ether.
Yeah,
It's the ether
yeah.
in the air.
So, it's
So do you
interesting.
think things are, we can go into the questions, the fifth dimension, is it opening, is it thinning the veil, as they say?
It is, yes, because more and more people are realizing that there is much more going on than what we actually see. And now, many people, especially that have been listening to my show now for a long time, know that there is a shift going on. And people are becoming, we call it waking up, more and more aware of what's going on around them. and they're having what they think cannot necessarily now is a coincidence. It's a synchronicity that's happening. So we're getting ready for the fifth dimension. If people that are listening have an idea, what just for people that don't, we're going into another, it's like another age, if you want to call it that the world is
They've been
transitioning
singing about
into.
it.
Yes, they do. And we
They've
went
been
through the
singing
age of
about the
Aquarius.
age of
Aquarius, yes, there we go. So now what is happening is the ones that are ready to wake up, let's say, are getting like pushed into this more by hearing programs like I'm putting out, programs that they have on Gaia, programs that people
Absolutely.
are talking about it today. So whilst people weren't sure what exactly was happening to them, they're feeling a sense of relief actually to say, oh, that's what I've been thinking. And they're expanding their consciousness. That's what I like to call it. We're expanding our consciousness into understanding that there's so much more going on not only Earth, outside of here. And that we're ready, I believe, for disclosure now, because we had to be ready for disclosure. And whilst not everyone is going to be ready for disclosure, at
They'll
least
never
people-
be.
No, but at least people are talking about
Yeah.
it today.
I-
The movies are coming out.
Right. I call it what you were saying. I don't mean
That's
to
okay.
interrupt it, but
That's
it's
okay.
like food for the soul.
Yes,
That's what
it
what
is,
you have.
yes.
Your show,
Yeah.
it's food for the soul.
And you know what? Better than Steven Spielberg is coming out with a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it needed to be someone, that we could that people don't know but can relate to. There are many people that have been coming out with this story, and you mentioned CERN in Switzerland. There are many things. NASA, comes out with a
Yeah.
little bit, but they need somebody that people look at. And I don't know what his movie, I'm sure he's going to say a lot in the movie, but it's going to help people. Let's say I know it's going to help people.
well, that's why they are putting them out.
That's right.
That's
yes.
the reason
That's
why.
right.
There's an agenda. There's a reason. They're not doing it just for fun. They're
And
doing
and I understand and I get it, because I openly have said that I've been abducted many times on my show in the beginning, and I mean, to me, it's not scary. I believe if you bring fear into it, there will be fear. So I'm very not fearful of what's happened to me in any way whatsoever. But there are people that are very fearful, and if they suddenly say, well, they're walking amongst us, they've got to do this gradually, gradually.
So there's a couple things I want to ask, and I
Yeah.
actually asked this question on Thursday night when we had a channel in here. There's the angels and the fairies that we all talk about. Then there's your beings of light, and they tell me this is a continuum of love and light of the intellects, and then we find this harmonious balance. But tell me about the soul contracts. Where on the
Okay.
continuum where does that fit? Like, where does your
Well-
connection fit between these ethers?
Okay, we all come in. Nobody is different from one another. We just think we're different. So we all come in the same way. We all come in with soul contracts. And the soul contracts are contracts that, let's say in the other dimension, on the other side of the veil, that we plan our lives before we come in. So as we do that, and I think we have discussed this before, but I think it's good for people to understand, because they always say, well, why does this keep on happening? But if you begin to understand that there's a purpose and reason behind all this happening, that we've come here maybe to figure it out so that we're not going to continue doing the same thing. So we have our soul family, we have our contracts that we have put out, and we always, let's say we stick to the script a lot of the time. We need help with the script, and that's when our helpers, our soul family, are watching over us to help us through difficult parts of it. They have explained to us from the other side, let's call it, that this is going to be a difficult time in your life, but all we need to do is ask for that help, because we have free will, so they won't interfere unless we ask. So if we ask, well, I remember part of what I said and discussed with you when we were on the other side. Can you help me through this part? I'm beginning to remember part of this script. They will willingly, helpfully come in and help you with this. But the key to this is believe and ask. Believe and ask. Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Now you're different because you remember. It sounds so silly. You remember what they tell you. There are some channels like Sally, as she channels, she may not remember what she said in 10 minutes.
Oh, no, it's happened to me as well. People will say, you've said that, and I go, oh my God, yeah, because I went through a trance, And I've done it with Perla. I mean, Perla's watched me 20-some years ago. I've done it with a couple that just lost their son on a football training. He just fell. He had a heart attack and fell. 16 years old, and he came through.
Wow.
And I didn't even know I was blinded. So it's just a beautiful thing that you could help.
It is, and they.
It
I
really
think they also know the people that
they
will
come
to come to
Right.
that will spread the message because they want to be heard.
Right.
So who are they going to do? We call it a channeler because we're channeling.
Correct. Because what he wanted to do is to tell his mother, like, don't worry about me. I'm fine where I am. Stop, because you're hurting yourself and you're still hurting me.
And the problem is, unfortunately, that so many people, they may hear it, but they don't want to believe it. So
Right.
even just by talking about
Was
it,
to
it's
heal.
opening people up to the fact that they are trying to help us.
To heal.
To heal.
To
Yeah,
healing.
absolutely.
heal.
To heal, help and
We need-
heal, right?
Yeah.
All right, so why do you, and we haven't even talked to your lovely aunt over here, from Gabby.
Yes.
Gabby, grab your mic. Why do you find this is interesting to you? Does it resonate with you?
It's open.
Yes, I think it's very, very interesting for me, and I think they can helping everybody who's watching this channel, and I am very happy I'm here, and
Maybe you could ask about your sister that just passed. Maybe she has.
Yeah, I can do, my questions more are not
Oh,
so much on
oh.
I can do that, but I kind of do it in private.
Oh, I
But
see what you mean.
mine are more broad, like, we'll give us some examples maybe, but just to let you know, and I don't want to disregard that question completely, that when we pass, we are in a better place. We understand so much more. So without me going into it more, I probably could give you a little bit more, but you know, we worry about them, but actually it's in reverse. They worry about us because they're okay, and that's what I
Yes.
feel that I meant to tell you that, okay?
yeah.
They're okay on the other side.
Yes, they're okay, but they're worried that we're not okay. So
Yeah.
it's like they come and they talk to us for comfort, you know, that we need to hear from them. They'll do certain things. And if we say, well, I saw and I was looking at a picture, and I could say, well, you were just looking at her picture, and you know you were doing that, that's a form of a recognition that you were acknowledging. She was trying to tell you that she's okay. And I wasn't going to do this, but I feel that she very much wants to tell you that she's okay. So stop, you know, I don't know how near it is to her passing, because there is a resting period at this
Thanksgiving.
point. Okay, so it's a little while. I mean, for us, there is no time on the other
Right,
side.
there's no time.
But she's fine, and she has family over there. Quite a few people, I think, that
Yes.
she was looking forward to seeing. They are, I'm getting goosebumps. They are
my father.
absolutely around her. And oh my goodness, I'm feeling this very strongly, okay?
Very strong.
So then just know that she's being taken care of in every single way with her family, okay?
That's,
Oh, how beautiful.
I am happy to hear
Good,
something
good,
like this.
good.
You giving me the goosebumps, Sally, making me like not even breathe over here.
All of us.
I mean, I do this, but you know, sometimes people don't like to necessarily share it on the air. So, but I had to do that. It was coming through very strong.
Oh,
Thank you, I
thank
appreciate
you,
it.
thank you.
My mother's very strong.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, she
Your
doesn't
entire,
give-
as mine was, as Dawn's family is
Oh,
too.
Yeah. My mother's a Scorpio.
Very, very strong
Very
people, and it's which we were discussing earlier is to do with the bloodline too.
Yeah.
And we all actually have. I'm going to say similar, but the same type of bloodline, and you know that, Dawn, too.
Yeah.
So that is it surprising we're all sitting here
No,
together?
no, there's no coincidence.
No, of course not. I feel like, well, I say I have known you most of my life. I just didn't know where you were, right? It's crazy, isn't it?
It's just,
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful.
And Dawn, we exactly. I mean, how could we? I'm not saying we ever make anything up, but how can people say, "Well, you're making that up"? We know this.
There's
we
no
know
need,
it.
I don't need. I have.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't need to do this.
I know.
mean, I have
I
no
know.
time
Exactly.
For that.
Me
It's
neither.
nonsense.
Me
Yes,
absolutely.
really.
You know,
If people don't understand, that's what
that's
they're
okay.
NPCs.
But that's another thing
Yeah.
that I've learned too, because when all this came flooding with me, with my, you know, a little now about Aldo,
Right.
which people on my show definitely know who he is at this point. I wanted to tell the world, oh my God, this is happening. But you know what I learned? And I learned it pretty fast, actually. not everybody wants to hear. And you know, you can't save the world, but if you just save 1 or 2 people
Right.
or help them, I'm not going to say save them necessarily, and they'd help another few people, you've done your job.
Absolutely. It comes naturally.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, some people really just don't even understand it. So that's when you
But
just
that's all
let it
right
be.
because they're not ready.
Yeah,
You know, we'll
exactly.
all
Just-
get ready
That's-
sometime in
That's
lifetime.
what we just like,
Yeah,
forget about it.
yeah,
All right, you want another question, Sally?
yeah.
All right, James from Charleston, South Carolina asks, I keep repeating the same relationship patterns. Is it possible I'm working through unresolved lessons from a past life?
Well, yes, absolutely, because another thing, we have discussed this because it happens to so many people. We have the same, because karma, as we know it, we choose our karma. It's a little different than what people actually talk about with karma. But if you come here to learn lessons, so you're learning a lesson again, and you will repeat the same behavior until it may be a different person in a different situation, but that behavior will be the same unless you can correct that. If it's bothering you enough, you'll start to say, I need to look for something different here, been through this enough times. And that's kind of releasing karma at that point. So yes, it's karma.
Okay.
It's coming back.
And how does he break the cycle?
By learning the lesson. By learning the lesson. Because being aware of it is the first step to actually probably getting rid of your karma. Because if you keep saying to yourself, well, this keeps happening to me, even though it's a different person, why does it keep happening to me? Beginning to question your karma. So you start to think to yourself, why is this happening? Is it something I'm doing? Am I picking the same person? It's the same situation, just a different face in front of you. And many, many people do that because we've come here to work through some of that karma.
But maybe it's not a past life karma. Maybe it's a
Well,
abusive
no,
situation.
I
mom
say it's
or
a
dad.
recognition.
It's
If
a
you need to
recognition.
recognize
okay.
that code, it's a code. We all have one, and we need to recognize it before we jump in. Like, you know, I used to jump in a relationship
Right.
so fast. You know what I mean? And I learned not to do that no longer.
And it can carry over from it in this
And it
lifetime,
does.
and as his question is too. You know, it's harder from a previous life because you don't know you've done it. But if it keeps happening in this life, then
Yeah,
pretty
look at you
sure
now. No.
it's from another.
Look at you now.
Yes, really. Okay.
So funny.
Yeah. So eventually, you know, you say, well, maybe this was a previous lifetime thing, but I'm learning my lesson here. But the fact that you know you're learning a lesson is halfway there, right?
Oh, I agree. I agree.
All right.
Fabulous.
Alicia from Brooklyn, New York. I've had anxiety and fears since childhood that don't connect to my life experiences. Could trauma carry over from another lifetime?
100%. And actually, even when we were talking about Brian Weiss,
Brian Weiss.
yes, is a very good example because he would take people back through hypnosis, which he even thought at that time, if anybody knows Brian Weiss, you know what I'm talking about.
magnificent.
So he thought that he was taking people from just this lifetime to get rid of trauma or pain. But no, the first lady that he took back was from another lifetime, and he did, but she knew things about him. This is all in his book.
So many lifetimes.
So what happened? I lose it sometimes. I'm sorry. So then he realized there was something more going on.
She had so many lives. That's what's called so many lifetimes. Because
Many masters, many lives.
masters,
So-
many lives, and that's what it is because we come with masters.
So that opened me up actually to previous lifetimes. And what happens is that he couldn't understand. And you know what? I give him tremendous respect because he had a lot to lose. He was a very well-known psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And I was telling somebody else the other day about this too. And you know, somebody else that had a lot to be criticized for was Shirley MacLaine. Because she wrote one of her first books was Out on a Limb, which I read, right? I don't think that was coincidence. I suddenly started picking these books up and I didn't know about, so I thought I didn't know about previous lifetimes at that point. But they were foremost in the beginning of bringing these things out. You needed a name for people to take notice a little bit of these people. I'd suddenly, which I did with my book, I came out with a lot of stuff 20 years ago, which was a little strange then. they didn't know who I was, and I'm sure many people read my book and they said, oh my goodness, this lady is crazy. But, you know, I took that chance too, but I talk more about it today.
It seems that people are a lot more open to learning now than I think they used to be, and finding the validation, whatever that looks like, and not feeling like you're weird, but actually realize there's a community of us. As they say, they walk among us, but there's a community of the us's.
And we do find each other. I mean, this studio
Yes.
is definitely, I mean, it's like all the time. From last week with Dana, I mean, I'm like so friendly with her. I didn't know her a couple of weeks ago. She's going to be on my show next week. We're going to have a great show next week.
Oh my God, so amazing.
And this morning I wake up to her message from her. It's like you want to be in contact with these
Absolutely.
people, though we're not really aware.
No,
that
because we feel that we're on the same
same
frequency,
vibration. Well, it's
same
a
vibration,
frequency. That's
same
exactly
frequency,
what it is.
and we understand that we are not. I don't. What do they call us? Crazy? Well, whatever.
It doesn't matter now.
It doesn't
right?
matter because I never really cared. You know, I said, yeah, go right
Well,
ahead. Call me a witch. Call me a white witch.
And you
call
didn't
me
know all this.
Whatever it is. I am what I am, and I'll never deny it. I have a gift.
I have to ask you guys, you've known each other for a little while, both of you, or just...
It's only like the second time we met was last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 times I've been here.
You've been here a
doing
couple
that.
times.
But did you have
Really?
any idea that this was going on here?
No, I just knew she was royalty, and I was just in awe of the way she always looks,
Yeah.
which is always
So
amazing.
there you go. It's
But you do
crazy.
numerology,
Yeah,
you
I
do a lot of
numerology,
different things.
I do past life regressions. I do astrology. I do Akashic records. I read Akashic records.
That's something I'm really interested in. I watch Gaia quite a bit, and I was listening to a lady that... Well, actually, I knew someone a few years ago that did the Akashic. Right?
And I read tarot cards, the 52 deck, the oldest, the oldest deck.
So
And
you
I-
never know who you're going to meet in here, Dawn.
And she could tell you, that I am accurate.
Yes.
I have a.
Do you also read?
She has a gift herself, right?
Yeah, I can read. And the coffee.
You read the coffee.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
the
read
coffee
the coffee.
grinds. I have it.
Yeah.
It's in the family. My Aunt
That-
They
Lily
used to
did
do that in England with the tea leaves.
with the tea leaves.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, my grandmother. It's in the family. It runs in the family.
Well, it is known that this is in the family. You know, once.
Well,
not
you know what they
every
say about
member-
Romanians.
Yeah,
You know.
but not every member of the family, but it is a hereditary, if you want to call thing, psychic and being psychic or intuition.
My son has it. My husband had it. His mother had it. My parents, my whole family. It's amazing.
it
it's
is,
a beautiful thing.
And
I
the
always asked
characteristics
about the coffee. I think I asked Freddie if
I
did he
know
know
how
of
to do it.
anyone
I-
that could read coffee grinds. He says I know someone who reads tea leaves,
That's
but I'd
the
never
Greek-
met anyone
That's
about.
Turkey coffee.
The Turkish
Interesting.
coffee.
Turkey
we
coffee.
do it.
It's
Wow.
similar to the tea leaves, the coffee
The tea
tea.
leaves. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Also, I've had it done.
But my feeling on that is also it's coming from your intuition. I mean, you see that. I don't read the tarot, but I have read cards to people.
Right.
And I'm getting the messages just from a bag of cards. I don't know the tarot. It's easier and nicer because it's more presenting the way that it should be. But I feel that some of it is from your own intuition that you're feeling. And so that I
It's
do
a combination.
Yes, because I believe the right card will appear because you're doing that for yourself. So, okay, welcome. Hi, Freddie.
How are you?
I'm doing good. We were saying, where's Freddie? And here he is.
I was outside it's getting warmer.
Nice.
That's good.
Have any
Do you
questions?
have a question?
What is the subject today?
It's
Anything
kind of just
goes.
it's kind of an open conversation at the moment.
So any question goes?
Yes, you can ask.
What's the
You
theme?
know that. Well, the theme is mainly what we're talking. Can we call it aliens? It's not.
We haven't even really talked about that, but we'll get Freddie into the conversation. You know, if you're a physician, doctors talk among doctors, lawyers talk among lawyers, but unless you're in a safe space, people of the woo don't say, "Oh, this is the way I am," until you feel comfortable.
Yes,
So-
I
right?
totally agree with that. But the more, especially here in the studio, when you can't deny these things, we
Right.
feel open
People
enough
of the woo.
to be able, people of the woo, come in here. It's a frequency. It has to be. How in the world does this happen? I mean, it's not just 1 week. It happens here.
It keeps on
It's
happening.
that frequency that we're bringing people in.
What-
I've noticed that for 3 years now.
You got me shaking, crying,
Yeah.
tears coming down,
yes.
going like, what's
Yes.
happening to me?
Yes.
You know,
Because we
I got the
recognize-
goosebumps everywhere, and they don't stop, and
We recognized each other.
that's
But
recognition,
if
soul
you imagine
recognition.
you go into someone, and you're introduced to someone, say at a party or a wedding, and you go, "Oh my gosh!" and
Oh,
at
it's so
last
good
I
to
found
see you. I haven't seen you in a millennium,
Yes,
like, you know.
do you remember from that lifetime?
Yeah, you
I mean,
remember.
It's just not going to
But-
happen. But it's comfortable here. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
why
a
we can
beautiful
do
thing. It
Yeah,
really
yeah.
is.
You know, you missed out on Friday, where there was more of thems. There was a
whoop.
whole bunch.
I was here Friday.
No,
for
we,
We're at
Russ's
Brahmers.
show.
we were at
Oh,
Bramers.
no, his show was.
And
oh,
Dana was there,
oh,
and
Dana, yeah.
Sylvia was
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Anka was there.
Who else was there?
Gabby was
I
there.
Gabi was there.
Well,
See-
Dana's coming in next week, so we can
Right.
record. We'll bring
Right.
you all back here on my show.
Probably the next time Perla would be there as well. I mean, these
Great.
were
Yeah.
people that were not familiar with this setup. Been talking about it all weekend about the energy and how things were, and Lucy got involved, the owner of.
So that actually probably proves, but it will show you something. Yes, the studio, because you guys are in the studio, but it still happens outside of the studio. You
Yes.
know, it's a frequency that we're on. So you can go outside. The show wasn't here. It was at Brahmer's, right? But you still have the same reaction.
True.
So doesn't that question the fact that you are bringing these people in? And
I don't think it has anything. I think it has to do with people. I think that if you
But you're
act,
attracting them, Freddie. for
yeah, but if you put enough grapes into the wine, it gets better and better. And
But how many people can say the amount of time that you can say that this has been happening? They'll say, well, or even have a studio that they'll say, well, one person came in with that topic. But how many people come into your studio with this topic?
well, what would you do if 100 people showed up? You're gonna say, oh,
I would love
is there
it.
101?
Bring them in.
Is there
100,
102?
yes, bring
Well,
it in.
that's exactly what's happening. You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
two new ladies. Dana's fairly new as well, and they all got Sylvia is new. You're talking about 3 or 4 different elements to what occurred
And they
on
all,
Friday.
we resort people to tears too, so that's a
No, that's something
reaction,
you
know.
do. That's not.
I-
That's not what
But
we.
this
That's
is a-
something
it's
you do.
Tears of joy. It's
That's
not
right.
tears,
That's what it
it's
is.
tears
As a matter of
joy.
fact, I wrote something, and
Yeah.
in my one of my beautiful story, I say that I speak of that I will have tears of joy,
Yeah, there you go.
and,
I didn't
that's
know
why
that.
I
use
can't
the
wait for
exact
you.
word.
I can't wait for you to read
Right.
my.
yeah, I look
Oh my
forward
God,
to
that's
it.
so
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
All right, Sally, you want to
Alicia was there today, and she was there Friday.
take a commercial break?
Yes, let's take a commercial break, and I'll see you on the other side of the show.
A true story, Call Me Zena, is the telling of Sally Barnard. Born in London, England at the end of the Second World War, she came into the U.S. in 1979. A mother of 2 and a grandmother of 4, she settled in Florida and worked in real estate. While going through a difficult time in her life, she was admitted into a hospital overnight in December of 2005. While settling back into her life, she began having vivid dreams and documenting them. By the 3rd dream, a lady gave her a message to draw. With no artistic background or interest into art or history, Sally listened to her dreams and grabbed a paper and crayons. Today, she has over 150 pieces of inspiring art and poetry. This book follows her journey and interpretations of these messages. She describes in detail how she is able to astral a project and who she has met along her travels, including her spirit guides. This book will show you how anything is possible with an open mind. These events have changed Sally's life and direction, and this book will show you how to change yours. Purchase Call Me Zena on Amazon today, authorhouse.com and amazon.com.
What if your soul could speak? On Call Me Zena with Sally Barnard, we explore the whispers of past lives, soul connections, and the spiritual memories that may be guiding your journey today.
I'm talking to people maybe that are on a higher dimension.
Have a question about your experiences? Call into the show live at 888-899-44995, Studio A, and share your story as we dive deeper into the mysteries of the soul together. Want to continue the journey beyond the airwaves? Purchase Sally's book, Call Me Zena, available now on Amazon and Author House, and uncover even more insight into soul remembrance and connection. Join Sally every Monday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on all Soical media platforms for an inspiring, intuitive, and soul awakening experience. Call in, tune in, awaken what your soul already knows.
Thank you for joining me through this journey of self-discovery with the help of my spirit guides. I'm Sally Barnard, and you can find my book at authorhouseandamazon.com or visit my art on my clothing in my boutique at artbysallybarnard.com. Now back to the show. Well, back to my show. Here we are again. Questions?
I got a question.
Yes, great.
All right, so I was told by somebody or somebodies that I was visited here by the Arturians. And I sat here and I listened to what they said, and they gave me a whole spiel about it. What I'm supposed to do, not supposed to do, yada, 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 yada. What is that?
Well, they're a race of people from another planet.
Where?
They walk amongst us. They walk amongst us. So
You
you've
said
always...
another planet and then they walk amongst us. That's
Well,
two different
no,
things.
they're from another planet. Well, actually, we all are, but many, not to say many, but there are people from their, let's say, race from their planet who have incarnated on this planet
That's what
Earth.
they accused me of.
They're saying you're from there?
Yes.
Okay, that's
the
very
collective,
interesting. I
they
need a
call
couple,
themselves
I need
the-
some water for this.
They call themselves the collective.
Mm-hmm.
Came in to inform me
Mm-hmm.
of all the work I have left to do.
Perfect. Because actually who I channel is a collective, but it's from a different... So I believe this absolutely
Okay, but what can you
100%
tell me
about you.
my-
You're here on a mission.
Okay, but what can you tell me about this planet?
Of their planet? Well, I'm not from there, but they're from a planet.
So how do you know about them?
Because I do. I know about a lot of planets. I've traveled to
Okay,
planets.
but how do you know about this planet? What
Because
do
they're
you
quite well known, let's call it.
quite
Yeah,
well
like
know?
the Palladians. I'm actually from the
Well, I'm
Palladians.
not a Palladium, I'm an Arturian.
No, yes, but they're similar. They come here to... The reason they're here, Freddie, or stay there and helping us, because they're here to come and walk amongst us to help us here with this planet.
So what is my mission? What am
Your mission is to become aware of it, which you are, because people are telling you, their collective is telling you, and your mission is here, which you have, because you're on the airways, able to get out your message somewhat, which you do, because our planet needs help. And this time of where we are right now, we're in a transition. So they're showing themselves more, not just from there, from the Palladiums, from other dimensions are here, but they can't suddenly, just like they can't with disclosure, oh, I'm from the Palladiums, listen to me.
Well, they have I call it we have an international, not just an international, like a global contract that they can't do that
and
to
there
us.
is the law, if we want to call the
Right.
Galactic Federation, which is here to
Yeah,
help
the
us.
Galactic Federation.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm sorry.
No,
it.
that's okay, but they help, they keep peace, if you want to say.
Okay, but
So-
is anybody else in this room an Arturian?
I think you're
Yes,
so-
I am, and
but
I'm
you're
also Palladium.
Palladian.
Yeah,
But then
I am both.
Yeah.
I come from different places. I've been everywhere. I've traveled the world. I've traveled every galaxy. I've been one of the first plant seeders. When I don't know if we spoke about the DMT, I've done it, and the first time it really opened me up. It also opened my chakra of communication, because I know one of my past lives, not just one, but I was decapitated.
Well, I was told
I think I was too.
that
I don't like masks
Yeah.
and things. And that's,
I was told that my presence is from the fifth dimension.
your presence is from the fifth dimension. That's very interesting. I'd like to hear more of this,
And so
actually.
would I. I don't know what the hell.
No, well, the
Well-
fifth dimension, you're here, we're in the third you know this now, and we're transitioning to the fifth dimension.
I'm from the fifth
But your time is definitely opening up to understand more of this, which you do, Freddie. You absolutely do, and I think it's beginning to make more sense to you,
It's
right?
making less sense. After she
Because
comes to
you
me-
know what? It sounds like it's making less
Oh, okay.
sense, but it is making more sense. The fact, you know how I know this? The fact that you're bringing it up, so which is great. It's on your mind because
No,
you're
no, no, no,
inquisitive.
hold on.
You're inquisitive.
I'm not inquisitive. Dawn keeps bringing it up.
Well, she
And
would
she
do.
did it again today twice.
Absolutely, she
So I
would.
looked her up.
Okay,
And then
interesting.
I have to talk to the person that told me. She was sitting right where you are.
Okay.
And she was on the air, and she went into this whole thing. And I'm like, what? So I don't understand it from one end of the soup to the other.
I'm
But I do
so glad that
understand.
someone's helping me with this message for you, because I feel
So tell me
responsible
what
that I
it
have
is.
to
What
open
is
you
the
up.
message?
You know, if I may say, I was born and I came from the fifth dimension. I always call myself the fifth element. I didn't even understand why, but I did, and people start to laugh at me, and you know, and it's just something about. And I am born on the 5th, May 23rd was another 5, but I do feel that way, and I understand completely. And now we are going to the fifth dimension, and that's why that is a connection. This is why I'm here. This is why she's here. So we all here because this is a portal right here. So they're using it as a portal. This is the message I'm getting.
Absolutely, yes.
That's it. This
So
is what
this
I'm
here-
getting.
Yes,
a message.
absolutely.
This is a portal.
I'm
they're
getting
telling me.
goosebumps.
And it's
Absolutely.
true
But it makes
because
sense. That's what she said.
yeah,
It's
We've
true.
always
It's
called this a
This
portal.
is
It's
what
a
it is.
portal.
Yeah.
There's something here.
This is
That's
what
why
it
those
is.
doors over there
Yeah.
open up.
Yeah.
How in the world, if you think
No,
of
this is what I feel.
reality as we know it here, could all these things be happening? It's
no.
a portal. Definitely.
Yeah, no, it is. And today's the 23rd. It's another 5. It's another confirmation. So everything to me, if we pay attention, all of us, right,
Right,
Sally?
yeah, no,
if we
absolutely.
pay attention to
Yeah.
you know, and live in the now,
100%. Because
and
it's
don't get
not-
distracted by all the nonsense and all the fake news and all the
because it's
BS,
there to
because that's
take
what
us
they're
away.
doing.
Divide and conquer.
That's
Aldo
correct.
Used to always say. So if you divide,
Yeah.
and it happens. I mean, let's look at politics for goodness' sake.
Yeah.
You divide and you conquer.
Yeah.
I'm not getting
It's
into
an old
politics,
script.
but
It's the
just
same
it's
script
the
over
same
and
thing,
over and
exactly.
over and over.
So the more you take, it's a control.
It's a
actually.
control.
There's much more behind that control, but it's a control. So if you're controlled, you don't think about the things that really deep down in your heart, in your essence, are really what matters. You know, there is nothing we can't do, Freddie. Nothing.
Yeah.
But you have to believe it.
You have
and
to
I'm
believe
so happy that someone said this to you, that you are from a fifth dimension. Because after all, who's in the studio here? And who do you have here? You have a being from another planet. You have a couple over here. But basically, you're here. This studio is here, and you're in it. How could you be in a studio and have all these people around you if you were not bringing the people in here yourself? You are, but you
Because
don't
you're
know.
recognizing them.
Of
You're
course.
recognizing you may think to yourself that you're not,
Perfect.
but you do. And I thank you for recognizing me.
And for recognizing
And I'm
me
very
too.
grateful.
And for definitely recognizing
Because it's
Dawn.
beautiful,
And
right?
you- yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we all here for a reason. And she's
It's
born
not co-
5'5",
It's not. It's
like
not
your daughter.
It's not coincidence, Freddie. And it more and more, you know, it's hard in the very beginning, and you've certainly listened to many, many of these things to even comprehend it. When Aldo came up to me all those years ago and explained my dream to me, your mind is so trained that these things don't happen. But his words were to me, which you've already absolutely started your journey, little by little by little, because it will all start to make sense, especially now with people that are like us, that are like-minded, that consciousness is expanding more and more. And the beauty of this is when that happens, we, through, for vibrational energy, whatever you want to call it, will meet. We'll meet. My goodness, you recognize me from another life. We just met an hour and a half ago.
It's a energy that we exchange, which feels
Exactly.
so good.
Yes.
It's like, oh my God.
How
it
do you
feels,
meet someone for the first time and start crying? Really? I mean, and hugging each other.
couldn't let go?
It's that, it couldn't. And I was shaking.
Because I was shaking and I
Me
could
too.
feel it. I
Yes.
could feel it, you know. It's so beautiful. I find it amazing.
And it's not the first time this has happened
Yeah,
here in the
me
studio.
neither.
And they know that. You know that. Dawn certainly knows. But I guess this is for Freddie.
But I
to
get so
see them all.
excited.
Me too.
Like a little girl. Like
I'm
we're
happy
two
that we
little
do-
girls.
Absolutely. Because I never want to lose that aha moment. I
Yeah,
know that it
it just feels
happens.
so good.
Fred, you got work to do apparently.
Yes.
Again, that's what they left here saying.
That's what they
You
said.
have a lot of work to do, but you know what? Your journey has definitely started.
I got a lot of work to do.
But you'll see it. You've had so many things happen. We
You know,
had a
I've
shared
met-
experience in a dream,
I've
Fred.
met people, when I first worked with Russell 14 years ago, I had people that did this at the radio station. And my son Freddie used to work with me, not Gio. And they called Freddie a star child. And to today, we never knew what that meant. But there was this famous physicist, he's Oriental, he's all over the news, talks about aliens. He's been on the news for the last 15 years. I met the guy. He came into the radio station with somebody that I knew. And he went to CCNY in New York. And he talked about alien life and light life and all of the fifth dimensions and the fourth dimensions and the third. And he explained how you could be living in multiple dimensions at the same time. You can even die in another dimension and still be living in this one.
Because I had that explained to me actually through Aldo explaining that to me. Yes, and it happened to me actually when I was in Orlando. Because I came back the following day when all this happened. I was totally a different person. Overnight, I changed completely. That's part of my story. And Aldo came in, of course, to that lifetime, to that life that I was changed into. I know him from the other life. And mine goes as far as even finding a plaque in my name where I was living with my name on it that I had passed on that particular lifetime. But people that didn't know me then or that knew me didn't recognize me when I was, because it's a parallel life. They're
It is.
parallel,
It's a parallel
yeah.
life.
So
I-
a lot of things are exactly the same.
No, it really is a beautiful life. It really is. If you,
But if you do that switch, it is a switch, and I feel that you're getting near to doing a switch, which when
a
it
switcheroo.
yes, and you're going to be what's going to happen is that your intuition is going to be so acute. You're going to hear things, synchronicity that happens, but you're suddenly going to look back on all the things which you think you are doing, of things that have happened to you, Freddie. It doesn't happen there is no time, but we have manufactured time. So it doesn't happen overnight. It takes work and understanding, but your journey has definitely started. Absolutely.
Catch up, as you say.
Yeah, and you've got all the time in the world to catch. You have another lifetime if you want to catch up.
With 6 fingers.
It takes
No, I
little
was.
by little because
You were?
our mind has been so trained to think another way. So when we start thinking, as they call it, out of the box, these things begin to make sense. The fact is it starts to make sense. You come up with ideas and you suddenly hear something and that synchronicity is there, you start to question it, right?
Right.
Or it validates everything you knew,
Exactly. Well, yes, we know it, yes.
right? It's like finding a common thread, and finally all the pieces of your life actually make sense.
That's exactly right, Dawn.
But then what do you do with it?
Well, then that's entirely up to us. Again, we have that free will. But how in the world, and people, how can you ignore these things? People do. And I mean, I must have been, Aldo told me about the last 2 lifetimes after the one that we were in. I'd had so much I knew, if not more of what I know now, but it lay dormant. It never went away, but I'd had so much responsibility, as you know, in that
Yeah.
lifetime, that he knew who I was, and he came here to find me to let me know who I was. But it was dormant because you can.
Do you
s-
think
but
it was
don't
about
lose
healing?
About
Healing.
yes, healing your soul, because that's
You-
really
so you've
basically
been
what
healing
we-
your soul.
Yes, and it has helped tremendously.
That's just what I'm asking.
Absolutely, my life has been very, very difficult, but that's part of our journey too.
Right.
Because if we don't learn,
Right.
out of negativity comes positivity
Right.
too. So part of that is still going on. Is a learning experience.
Yeah.
And we're in this life. We're all humans.
I find that you there's always the check about the white and black as I'm wearing. We always have white, black, and gray, and
That's
which
correct.
and some people do live in the gray. It's like we have like 3 poles, and there's white, gray, and black.
But I think having discussed all this, I think the most important to overcome a lot of these things is to remain positive. I mean, you've
Correct.
got to have the negativity to see what the positivity is. But that vibrational energy is so important to carry that on outside of the studio, in the car, no matter where you are, is to always be
To always
remaining
know,
positive.
believe and know that everything's going to be okay.
Exactly, and you know
It's not
that's the
easy.
sixth sense that you get when you know that. It's not easy, and it
Not
wasn't meant
easy.
to be easy either.
No.
Because where
I
would
think
you
that's when
learn?
you win. This is
That's
when you
right.
win. When you
Perfect.
learn to play that game, that game of this life,
Yes.
is when you learn that no matter what, you're going to be okay. Things are going to work out. You know, just no matter what it is. The only thing is your health and dying.
And you know what Aldo used to tell me too is when you, especially when you're going through something, observe it. Take yourself out of it.
The
Look
box.
at the situation and observe it, and then you can make decisions that you know that we have chosen maybe to make in this lifetime. But when you're caught up with things, it's hard, and people will say, "Well, you're meant to go through this." You're not going to believe that then, obviously. No, but the more you look at it from an outside looking in, it makes it a little easier every
Yeah,
time.
if you-
We
if
all
you-
have problems, right?
If you don't move from here, you can't get there. It's like,
Exactly.
you know, it's just,
Exactly.
it's just the way it is.
Don't you
written.
find Auntie over here so interesting? I always say, beware the quiet ones.
Yeah.
she's-
Oh, yeah.
She's lovely.
Because she
has a
sees, she knows what's going on.
She knows.
Yeah.
She has a gift, and
at
I'm
her.
so gifted for her to spend the time.
In fact, you do even sitting
she
here.
lives
There's
in
a reason.
she
right?
lives in New York City, and she's taking the time to spend with me
Oh, it's beautiful.
after her sister's death with my mother, the oldest.
Oh, it's your mother that.
It was
oh,
my
okay.
mother, the
So-
oldest. She
alright.
was the oldest. She was the youngest from 6 children, and she had an amazing mother and father. And
That's
just-
why the word family keeps coming up. Because I look at you and
We
I
all
just
up-
think family.
It's all about the
I know,
family.
I have somebody, and they told me, "Oh my God, when I look to you, sister." I say, "Really?" Oh, all the time I have a chill.
Because I think she's around, and you know, we have the same kind of frequency, the whole family, you know, and it's a beautiful thing, you know. I'm very lucky to really, because I'm the only child, so I'm lucky
Right.
to have her around. You
Oh
know.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have there's a common bond with DNA, I think. Now it doesn't have to always be that way, but when it is that way, it's very special. It's the which we
It's
talk
purity.
about, right? It's purity.
It's
bloodline.
purity.
Yeah,
It's what life is all about.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean-
something like yesterday in the morning, I check my telephone all the time, and I have on my Facebook, like last year, I was here, and my sister, she was alive. And I said, "Oh my God, it's already 1 year. I was here to visit my sister, and now she's not here with us anymore."
Same day.
Same
Same-
day.
Same day means
But that's the little synchronicities, that message that needs to be coming from her for you to see that. It meant something. That was not
Yeah.
coincidence.
I mean, there was like, I was in shock a little bit. I said, I cannot
But
believe
just
it.
know she's around you.
Yes, I
So
know.
just so know that. I mean, if I say I don't think they get upset, but they have, I don't know, I'm not going to say they don't have feelings. Of course they do, but they look at life a little differently here. She wants you to be happy.
Yes, I am happy.
Okay, good, good.
Sally,
All
you're
right,
on a
so-
roll here. All right, next question. Freddie, you have another one? Mark is from Chicago, Illinois. Do souls travel in groups?
Yes, absolutely, they do. We have our soul family, and we reincarnate with part of that, not the whole family. Some of them stay there. However, having said that, we do pick up other souls along the way who then are part of that family from here on in, because there is no time. Everything is happening all at the same time. That's another whole show, and it's difficult. I can't do it and explain it right now. But if we know that, we do add to our family. But most of all, if you think about lifetimes, we've been with the same people over and over again. In spirit, some of them, in our carnation, some of them. They split up along the way. A lot of them are here, that's our guides.
That's
They're
our
here to
guides.
guide us. So part of that family knows what we've been through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So they know that they're probably better working from the other side than actually meeting us in an incarnation. because they are able to do that, as you know.
As a matter of fact, my mother has told me that before
Right.
she left. And it wasn't that she was sick. She just had to tell me, he had to let me know that you will see me because all your dreams will come true. Everything you've done for me as a daughter, you will be paid back. I will be there and I'll open every door there
If they
is.
can help, I have
Because
that.
I believe that because
They're
she
here to help,
she was
yeah.
strong here in this life, and she's loved there and here, and and I know that's why she
That
passed on
doesn't change.
Thanksgiving.
That doesn't
That's why it was
change. That's
11 o'clock on Thanksgiving. There was another,
Their personality doesn't change.
No.
They're strong. They're strong.
and there was a beautiful one. The soul is beautiful. It'll always be. It'll always be.
I feel that Aldo passed to, obviously my dear friend.
Yeah.
But I feel that he's able to help me more. I just wish that he'd been here having this conversation, but he's
Right.
more able to help me, which he's telling me right now from that side, because I certainly know he's around. I talk to him the whole time, than he was able to even hear. I mean, these people they're special, okay? They've learned a lot. They've been here. They don't like to be called special by any means. I know that. But they're here to help us even in incarnation, that they show themselves. to
Right.
us.
Yeah.
And that's what your mom did.
Yeah.
All right, Sally, so my question for you, the greater purpose for this portal or for this moment in time right now is to what? Why we all
It-
sit here
I
today in this frequency.
absolutely tell you, it's here because why are we all showing up here?
That's
I'm
the question.
3.5 years here now with this happening. And more is going to happen because our time, as we know it, is speeding up. It's so important. It's like a meeting place, Dawn. So important to keep that open vibe.
What's the greater calling?
It's that we're here to recognize what's happening, to help other people open up, and to get us through this mess, which is now going to go into the fifth dimension. Because I have to say this too, and I've heard other people say that, not everyone is going to be able to reach that because we're on a learning. It doesn't mean that we're disappearing from our incarnations. No, not by any means. But how beautiful to get it in this lifetime when we have this opportunity. Many, many souls are going to be able to do this and have a different type of life without wars, without all these things going on. To have no control. I'm not saying I don't believe the controllers go there. So hopefully no control. I'm sure of that too. But we've got to recognize it first. And you know what? We have to put in that work. But no better time to do that than is to do it now. Many people have incarnated in this time just to get to this point. And it's happening. It's happening before your eyes here. When could we have,
needs to change.
I feel it. The whole thing here is opening up to help
Has to.
people get through this mess. We're in a mess. We've said that many times
Oh my
here.
God! I'll be. I
Just
don't
hold
know
your
what
mic.
it is, but this
Okay,
chair is
just grab
moving.
your mic. The chair's moving.
I'm telling you,
Beautiful.
I'm
I
not
love it.
joking.
I love it. I love it.
I'm telling you, I
So
think
you're in
it
a
just,
portal.
this is a portal here. I swear, I've
Do you know I
never
went to
felt.
grab
I'm
your
not
arm?
joking. I'm telling you, I've never felt like this was the weirdest thing. Wow! Thank God it stopped.
Did you see me
There
put
was
my
the-
hand out?
Yeah.
I just felt like I had
Oh
to
my
keep
God!
it
What had
around
just
you.
happened?
I felt like I
Did
felt
you
like-
feel it?
Well, I wouldn't have put my hand out.
What? I saw you
Absolutely.
when you
See,
when
I
you
did
went.
that.
What
I
has
went to touch
happened?
her. I don't
I
know
just
why.
went
I
like
thought maybe
this,
she was
like it
crying
was
or something.
I saw
shaking.
you.
You saw me do that.
Yes,
I don't think
What
she
the
was
heck is
aware of
under
it
here?
because she was she was going through it. But I was here to ground her.
Oh,
or
something is really like.
Well, we've had some strange things. We
No,
had a
no,
fire
this is
alarm
like
go off,
wow.
right?
And I'm really like I'm being real like
So
this.
do you
is-
feel as if this is part of your mom's message? To
I
bring you
believe
both
so.
here
I'm
at
telling
this
you, I
point
feel
in
like
time?
somebody like there was something here, like it kept on shaking me.
I was here to ground you.
That's why
Yeah, you felt it.
Yeah, I
She
was
felt
here,
it.
I felt like I had to put my hand out for you to
What?
hold it. Why would I have done that?
I
A little
know.
emotional?
This is what. Okay. Wow.
That's all good. It's all
It
good.
is all
Audience,
good.
this
It's
is all great.
fantastic.
And
It's-
it's great we're coming out with this on the air.
Yeah. It's just it, but it's real. It's like, wow.
More to
I'm
come.
amazed.
All right, Sally, ready to wrap this up?
Yes, I just look. I don't often look at the time. But
Oh
I
my
think
God.
it's getting weirder and
It's just
weirder.
like-
I'm thinking maybe we should say goodbye before we all disappear. We are going to
Whoa.
disappear, but we'll still be here.
Whoa.
We're not gonna disappear completely.
And I think I was just taking off. Oh,
Well, guys,
like
if
there was a
if you didn't
like
find
Elon
that-
Musk put something underneath over here, and I was gonna take off.
If you didn't find this show exciting, there may be another one even more exciting coming next week, okay? But I have to mention to tune into YouTube, right? If you
Find
could just
Sally's
do
show
that
on
for me.
YouTube at Call Me Zena. You can also find it on Facebook at Call Me Zena, all over social media. But yes, definitely tune in next week, same time, same place. But in the meantime, you can get her book, Call Me Zena, A Journey into the Unknown, at Author House. You can scan the QR code right here, Author House or Amazon.com. It'll give you a little bit of insight into Sally's past, her journey, and to how she got to where she is. I can't tell you why Anka is where she is, but I can tell you where Sally is where she is.
Okay, I'm not sure I'm where I am actually either.
I'm
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
You've been watching Call Me Zena with your host, Sally Barnard. As an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer, know that you can always seek me out for resources by visiting artbysallybarnard.com. Join us next week, Mondays at 2:30. Have a blessed day.